Welcome back to a crafting stream. Last time I made my Fat Man and finally finished the build, but it was early and I didn't really expect it. So, I was not prepared for this. So, the plan is, well, I've remade the Fat Man, and the Fat Man was used for one of my Brotherhood of Steel cosplays. And, well, I figured I might as well rebuild that cosplay. But looking back at the old props I used to have, essentially I got, I needed tools for a knight, so what I did was get hosepipe adapter, hosepipe ends and general adapters, cut the hosepipe section off them, and just go, oh look, it's a welding torch, it's this, it's that. And you could argue that it was something, and it was, to be fair, for cheap homemade stuff, it really, they looked the part and were pretty good, but if I'm going to remake it, because I've remade the weaponry, which also means I have to make a laser rifle at some point, but that's a long way off in the future now. So, long story short, I need tools that are thematically correct for the Brotherhood of Steel. Which means I had to go into the game and find different tools. Now, normally, I would have thought of this more than just like this morning, but I've been busy over the weekend and I didn't have time to think of this. So now all that's over and done with, I'm going to be making the blowtorch. Now, this should be relatively simple because shape-wise, it's just a cylinder with a flared base, a handle with a frame attaching to it. Both of those are really easy to make. A cylinder going upwards. Now, making that's strong enough will be interesting, but yeah. And I don't have any more dowel left, so I'm going to have to make all these cylinders by hand. So, first off, I'm going to have to make a design for it because I haven't done that. And there's a fair chance that after I've done this, I'm going to go get a proper reference in the game when I've got time and not just pointing a camera at the PS4 screen because screenshots. So yeah, the shot I've got of this is atrocious. Don't worry about it. I have worked with worse screenshots than this. So essentially, an actual blowtorch, because, I have an actual blowtorch, so. And this is the best reference I can use for the size of the handle. Once I've worked out the size of the handle, I can work out the scale of the rest of it. And then once I've done that, I should be able to make this into a thing. The worst that happens is I spend 2 hours failing at making a blowtorch, get proper references with drawings, and come back next time. So anyone who's been here for a while will know I don't use references, so this will turn into something regardless. It's just the quality that changes. Oh wow, I made a mess at the end of this paper, didn't I? So I think that is part of the Fat Man that did that. So first off, I'm just going to give this a straight edge, go back to the start, get it all right, and So on the back of it, you can see that there's a little hand grip, which is the, it's a hand grip. Now that does not look like a comfortable hand grip or something that you would reasonably ever use, but it's what Bethesda gave it, so that's what we're giving it. And it's the little red cylinder at the back. So basically to fit a hand on it comfortably. So I was just enjoying that. So basically you fit comfortable hands on it like that. So we're talking about 12 centimeters long. That's going to be interesting. It's been a while since I've actually done this without having a computer. Look, that kind of angle. I mean, it's close actually. It's just that's not designed to look like it's out the 1950s. And of course, I always start off with measurements of something. So it's about 2.5 full. So 1.25. Just sort of go across like that, and that would be the handle, and of course you've got this bit that comes up. Oh sorry, no, it goes straight across like that. It's closer to that, really. Then of course, I mean, the main tank would end about there, and the little flared base is around there. Now it's a little taller than it is round, so it's about 16.5, say 17 centimeters around. So if we make it that maybe. I really hope that dog's okay. That is massive. So in fact, we're more talking there. Move this up by that much. Then this bit here moves up to there. So now with a total height of 13.5, which makes far more sense. Yeah, if we drop it down like that. Yeah, the second one was the right one. But like that, we... So we've got that by there. Then... the little bit here that doesn't matter how accurate that bit is drawn. Actually, that's a little bit further over that way. Damn it. That there, then I think total height, it won't even end up that high. Wow, okay, now it only goes up like this high. Come back here and sort of make this kind of shape, because that's what it... Sorry, no, it's a little bit domed, then straight, then a little bit domed. Okay, so sort of like that. Yeah. About that far, then ends about here. Basically ends up that sort of shape. And of course we ignore that as well. And this little section here you get sort of like that. Okay, so we have a sort of a drawing going on here. Also, if it sounds like I have no idea what I'm doing, I don't. But every time I've seen one of these in a hand in game, it's always looked too big. So it's definitely feeling the part at the moment. Note, if this fails, I will go make a proper reference from the game files and do it properly, but until then... I mean, these streams are as much about education as entertainment. So I'm just showing you what my normal process is when I'm not trying to be all professional. Make that a little bit thicker so we actually have some material. So I was surprised when looking at the models, at least like what they show. The Brotherhood of Steel just used like generic tools that are the same as everyone else in the Commonwealth. You would have thought with all the fancy tech they brought with them that they would have, like, you know, brought some fancy fixes with them, but no. So this is an overlooked but very important part of crafting. Making sure that it actually fits, because it's all nice to like have the thing. Okay. So I mean, it does sort of look the part there. And you can get a grip around that. It's not a nice grip, but it also looks oversized like it does on with people in the game. I mean, this is actually shorter than it is in the thing. I don't know why you would want it longer. And also, the problem with doing it like this is that I don't know what the other side of this thing looks like in model-wise. I mean, I could go into the game and just put it on the model viewer. I didn't think of that. Okay, so we get the prototype foam. That's my hole punchy foam. Let's not use that. So at this point, I'd like to be using offcuts and prototype foam because the proper stuff costs like 5 times as much. And if you can build it out cheap stuff, why would you use the expensive? A genuine question, why would you use the expensive stuff for the cheap stuff available? Unfortunately for me, they fixed up their quality, so they're not different colours anymore. Which is quite annoying. But this stuff is the cheap stuff, it turns out. Which is all good. So now we've determined that this is... Wow, how convenient, 10 centimetres. So I need 31 point centimetres of it. Sorry, 31.4. It's 50 centimetre ruler, isn't it? So I need a bit that measures 31.4 by 13. So 31.4, give or take a little bit. So let's use this one, it's more accurate. $31.4. And 31.4. By 13 and 13. cut, put on the hot glue gun because I'm going to be needing it later. Move the template out safely. Strongly regret not sharpening my knife. Let's grab that. Let's do it this way. Now present you the accuracy of my cutting. That's close enough. That'll do. So don't worry about that. So there you are. We've now got a cylinder that is only slightly bigger, actually. Like, if you put it on top of it, it looks huge. But yeah, it's actually really close. But yeah, that's the extra thickness of the foam that you were dealing with. So it's not actually as bad as it looks. So next up, we need a beveled ring for around the bottom. Right. So that's an old jigsaw piece that came off of a foam mat that I used to use. Now, back in the day, you didn't have all of this go to a shop and buy foam thing you have now. You had to buy like floor mats and then modify them for use. And then hope for the best. So yeah, I've messed this up a little bit, but just come back through, cut this at an angle. Now a phrase that all cosplayers know well is it's battle damage. And when you're making something completely handcrafted with no plan, It's a phrase people that you will know very well. Just get a little bit, tack it on. I might actually reduce its size a little bit as I go along, but of course none of this is the final position for any of it. This is just a proof of concept, but now we've got the beveled edge at the bottom, which we're supposed to have. I'm not going to cut it yet, because if I did that, well, there'd be a problem. So the top of this is just going to be a circle. That is going to be more complicated and done later. It's not something that I can just prototype together here, because I'm going to have to correct it and mess in the production work at the end. But don't worry about it. So we've got that. So I'm going to have to build some form of reinforcement inside of this in order to make that stand, because this stuff is weak. I mean, I'm going to have to do a solid bottom on there as well, but it's fine. So where's my little thing? Right. So it's 10mm, which means this is probably the right size. It's 12. So if we go down to the one below, so if we go down to this one, which is actually the size that we want, and how long do we want this to be, is the question. So if we make it 8 centimeters long, so it's just a little bit longer than we want. Now I just need somewhere where I can cut a bit that is 8 centimeters long. If we line up that to start with, and we say about there. And what I need to be able to do is that, basically, which I can do. I'm glad I gave it that little bit of extra space now, because that's going to let me do what I need. Just hold down. roll it so we get a little bit less hideous of a connection, but we need one. Now got a little cylinder to go on top, which basically sits there. Next up, we need the cone head, or the little flamey bits at the end, which, if you look, is about the size of this pipe. I know that because this is 22 and that's 10. So same process again. Eight centimeters again. Yeah, let's make it 8 centimeters. Let's do it. I don't see a problem with that. There's a little lens section I marked up before. So if that's somewhere safe, we come around here and so we start off there. And we run it there. I've given it a little bit more because you've got to account for the thickness of the thing when you do it. So if we come on like this, see, I mean, I didn't add enough, but that's fine. I'm currently making a blowtorch. I've got the little thing of it on screen, so. I might need to do this again out of slightly thinner foam because I think that's too thick for what I'm doing, but don't worry about it. Okay, so no, it's not actually a weapon, it's a tool. put it about there-ish. Wow, that is way too short. I mean, it works on that version, but it's way too short for the actual one. Oh my, it like should be like that long. Okay, well, it's a fun build, we don't care. Surprisingly, it's an item that most people will never use because you can't actually do anything with it. So most people just break them down instantly. But I wanted some thematic tools that belonged in universe. But no, they litter the Commonwealth, but the particular picture I have is actually called the Prydwen. I even feel this is way too big, so it should be like that. Like back there? Yeah, a little smaller. To be fair, you can't just do the big iconic stuff all the time. You gotta do the silly stuff, all the little things occasionally, and it's not bad. No, it's actually at the back, so it'll go there. Now, to be fair, I'm doing this one mostly for fun now. I've been following plans and doing things properly for ages, and it's never really been my thing. So I'm just gonna make one for a laugh for a change. Wow, let's try to drink that. Well, on the upside, I didn't drink it. Okay, So about halfway up there's a little thing. So if we grab this, sort of pop that in like that. Of course, cut a little bit in this front. Stick that on, go a little bit forwards. So we've got that. Okay, let's do the other way. So yeah, it's spider webbed to heck and back, but it'll be fine. Proper depth. There you go. Sort of working. I want to make a proper one of these, it'll be much better. And this is why I didn't initially stick this bit together, because if I had of, I wouldn't be having this fun now, would I? And we've now confirmed that extra that we need to take off. Like that. Looks much more appropriate, to be fair. Starting to heat up a bit. Just forget that. Take all of this stuff off. Oops. Okay, let's start off a nice edge. Let's just run a little seam like that. little bit of this tape, then I can like that, and then we just stick that bit together and with tape. Right, so the top bit I'm going to need to make a little bit stronger. So for that, so stick that on there like that, which will support that eventually. This little rim around the bottom. And we've got a little lip around the edge for a little bowl, so it looks like there's something there. Now at the top of this we're going to need a circle. So, do I have an old bit of trash that I don't care about laying around? That is big enough, of course. Yes, I do. Now I'm going to be using that to align the markings in the end. So yeah, usually you'd go through and like bevel the edges, but I'm mostly doing this for fun, so I don't really care about that right now. Again, this should be much longer than it is. I messed that up. Oops. So, right, what's up next? Yes. Is this actually comparable in size? No. Let's So now we need a little handle to go on the back. So yeah, my desk is becoming messier and messier, but that is quite normal, for me at least. Just a little tack above it. Then good, just a little bit more. And we just let that other side dry. But it's a little filling thing. I'm gonna cut a bit of the top off in the end because it's not right, but filling spout on the side. On the back, I need one of these that is a bit longer. So, just do this. Go there, cut that, and then down here, and cut that at 45. Just squeeze it down for a few seconds. Of course, heading on down, you come down to about here. And get this bit on here. That on at the center. Now we just need a 12cm section and we're pretty much done. Double check that measurement. So if we make it 10 centimeters long, it's just slightly longer than that. Make this 10. I always wonder why I can't find anything. I mean, I just throw stuff everywhere. 10. 10. down there. A little bit of attack on this. Okay, that should be enough. Oof, that's getting too hot. Let's get that centre one off because it's going to be the hardest to remove at the end. Pop it out. Yeah. Yep. It's starting to get there. And another 2 bits for the back. Oops, wrong way. This way. Just a little bit of glue there. Look how stable that is. Very much a me thing there. But it's starting to come together. Still completely hollow, though. What else do we have? Because I think it's just the big stick coming out the back now. Wait, no, because we've got like the little cross section and yeah, that we can do. Let's do it. I'm aware that they rounded on the original, but I don't know what that is. I've never used iPhones, so thank you. Those should be a little bit further back, but let's get you cut back a little bit. It's okay, I try to do this regularly. have a slight feeling this is not going to be strong enough to take this on the back, but it's not bad. I've done much worse in the past. Ooh, nope, nope, nope. Now, I've got some of these left, so we can use that. One little bit left, which is put some like bits on the ground here. Right. It's a bit messy, but It's okay. We've got some extra holes there. Okay, now we've got most of that done. Got that. Well, it's not bad. The thing is that that's got no strength to it. I'm gonna have to do something about that. There you go. It's much better. Maybe? Yeah. I said we come to the end of today with something that vaguely resembles it. it works-ish, I guess. So, I'm going to finish up there. I think this is enough of a complete mess for me to say I've had some fun. And thanks for coming. I hope you've enjoyed me making whatever this is meant to be. I mean, to be fair, it's not bad. Consider the fact that I've made it at random with no plan or anything else. So again, thanks for coming. Hopefully you'll come next time when I might actually have a plan. And I've actually drawn something. So, bye. Oh, sorry, that hand, because it's easier.